So what we're doing for the test is we're playing. We're not actually strangers.
We're
Card
not
game.
really strangers.
Oh, whatever. Oh, that's right. How this is gonna go?
Yep.
We have our cards separated already. We are going to draw a level 1 card.
Level 1 perception.
Yeah. And then we just read it, and the other person will respond to the question accordingly. After we get through our level 1 deck, we move to level 2. And then after level 2, we move to level 3.
So we just switch off. I read, you read, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Whoever reads first in level 1 will read second in level 2, and then read first again in level 3.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, why don't you read first then?
Okay. I think I have more cards than you for level 1, so.
That feels unfair. I'm losing already.
What reality show do you think I am most likely to binge watch and explain?
I mean, gut instinct there was something as simple as like Big Brother. Just you having a group of people in a very basic situation to just judge, to just critique on how they're living their lives wrong. I have heard of other sort of Big Brother-esque shows, but they're much more. My first word was going to be romantic, but honestly sexual. One's called Love Island, which you would think would be a bit more like Survivor-esque, but no, I'm pretty sure it's just like Big Brother, but on an island. And like the concept was like, was it 2 groups of men and women? And like they were all exes, or was it just one guy and all of his exes? It had something to do with exes. I feel like a lot of judgment would come from nature, but just not the ones that are more focused on like the competitive nature of the game or whatever. You might enjoy those, but the ones where you can just sit down and really tear people's lives apart, I think that's a you thing.
You called it Love Island?
Love Island.
There's judgment coming from that name alone.
Sure.
I don't need contestants to be like, you signed up for a reality show called Love Island.
Yeah,
so odds are you're either thinking I'm about to get boned, or you're thinking I'm gonna fall in love, in which case in the second one you're an idiot because it's a reality TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first one you're still an idiot because there's gonna be cameras all around you. So I don't think you're really gonna want to bone.
I mean, they had sex all the time in Big Brother. Like they would cut to these fucking what is it, night vision shots, like the green or the black and white shots of just in the bedrooms, and there they are, sheets moving up and down and whatnot.
Do you think that the contestants get told to specifically have sex in a way that if a camera was watching you, it's PG-13? Like, hey, yeah, y'all can bone, but like
keep it under the covers.
Throw a cover. Like a producer like runs in while you're having sex and throws a cover over you really quickly. And they're like, okay, you're good. Keep going.
Well, I mean, sometimes other contestants would be in the room, so maybe they're just trying to be quiet in the first place. Maybe they're just they have to. Well, I think the concept of Big Brother was that they didn't know where the cameras were. They had to have known there were cameras, but I don't think they were supposed to know where they were.
Interesting. So, well, but I mean, I guess maybe I've never seen it, so I don't know how like the psychology of it would come into effect. But I imagine when you first get into a house, I guess you'd be under this belief that cameras are everywhere. So how long do you have to live in a house where cameras are everywhere before you get to the point that you're like, I don't care anymore? And do they watch their own show? I guess they can't. No, that feels like it would amplify the drama, though.
I mean, they wouldn't watch it until it was aired, obviously.
Oh, that's a good point. They don't have like raw footage.
Yeah.
But do you think that to amplify the drama, the people running the show who got to see it live firsthand, you think they would run to other people? Like if Romeo and Juliet were having sex one night, but then Bartholomew really likes Juliet, you think a producer would go over to Bartholomew the next day and be like, hey, just so you know, word on the street, Romeo and Juliet, they're boning?
They wouldn't run to Bartholomew, but they might go run to Julius and give Julius get Julius some info, and then Julius, while he's sitting down cracking a couple of cold ones with Bartholomew, and being like, "Hey, I heard some stuff about Juliet and Romeo." Yeah.
Wow, they won't even go directly. They have to let it fall.
No, yeah, it's got to go through. I mean, like, it was. I don't even remember like the whole side thing, like the part where they would call everyone into like the same room, and then they'd go into like individual rooms to like cast. I don't think it was casting a vote. Was it a casting a vote? It's been years since I've watched an episode of Big Brother. It was either they would go in to cast a vote, or they would just go in to talk shit. It was just you just get a little clip of them saying like, "Oh, I saw Juliet sleeping with Romeo, and that bitch. I was gonna sleep with Romeo."
Well, duh, it's Romeo. Who doesn't want to sleep with the overly obsessed teenager who fell in love 3 days, or not even, it took him 3 days to die for his love. It took him less than an hour to fall in love. The whole love at first sight. Anyway, so the point of the question was that you think I want to watch a show where I just judge people all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know? If you just needed some brain melting food in TV show form, yeah.
I could see it as like if something dramatic happened to me, I could see myself like divulging into this couch potato who just sits and like yells at the TV. Juliet, you're a skank. Absolutely. How dare you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Although my commentary on those shows would be much more petty than the shows themselves. Like in the shows, you'd get, "Oh, you slept with him. You're such a horrible person." I would be like, "Wow, you wore yellow to a formal event? Why? You're just asking for attention."
How dare? What a faux pas.
Of course, now you put the fake glasses on, Juliet, trying to look smart. I see. Anyways.
So, my turn. I'm supposed to take a level 1 perception card and read it to you. All right, here we go. Finish the sentence. Just by looking at you, I'd think.
Period. That's the finishing of a sentence. Period.
Aren't you funny?
That's a fact. You asked me to finish it.
So what your sentence is, just by looking at you, I'd think.
Period. Actually, maybe. I might, if I didn't know you at all and I just saw you, I mean, where would I be seeing you? Grocery store, I guess?
No, that's too quick. It's got to be something where like.
You've elected to go to a coffee shop. I've elected to go to a coffee shop.
I was going to suggest library, and in some ways I consider that more likely for us.
Yeah. Definitely more than a coffee shop. All right, so I see you at a library. My first thought is period.
Just by looking at you, I'd think.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all your shit together. I don't, looking at you, I would not instinctively think any of the rash judgments I could get from other people. Maybe studious, maybe just because you have glasses and you're in a library in this scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm also in the library, so not everyone there can be studious.
So what you're saying is, on the face of it, I don't look like I'm the train wreck that I actually am.
Yeah.
Awesome.
100%.
That's great.
No,
that's great to hear.
Not only do you look like you have all of your life together, you present yourself in a way where if someone wanted to question if you didn't have your life together, they would have to question themselves first. Be like, do I have my life together to even ask if this guy has his life together?
Wow, I have more power than I thought.
Yeah.
At least according to you. That's good to know.
I have a pretty good perception.
That's good to know.
Your next question. What do you think my go-to karaoke song is?
Go-to karaoke song. The thing that I associated with you growing up, like the song that I thought this song encapsulated who Sam was, probably because you like to play it a lot, was Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. But then the song that I introduced to you, I believe, that you seem to really latch onto was Crawling by Linkin Park.
Yep.
So it would definitely have to be one of the, I think
Linkin Park as a whole, you actually introduced me
to. Yeah. I think on balance, I would have to say, I think you would have, as like, bumpy and fun as Can't Touch This is, I think you would get more into Crawling. I think you would have, like, if we went to a karaoke bar, we brought our own, 5 other people or something, and you got to go and stand up in front of them and start singing. I think you would put on quite the performance of Crawling by Linkin Park.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Can't Touch This already has such an upbeat notion to it that you just fit the vibe. You don't add anything to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think you would make Crawling yours. This would be Sam's Crawling. You're not doing Linkin Park's Crawling. Sam is Crawling right now.
And in karaoke, the words pop up on the TV, so I don't need to memorize the lyrics.
No. Yeah.
But don't they also have the little marker that follows the tempo? So you're supposed to... Yeah, I don't think I'd follow that.
I mean, what you would have to do then, if you're going a bit faster at some points, you just have to hold on other words longer. Because it doesn't show the whole song at one time. Like, it goes from screen to screen.
Oh, so I have to read and... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I should probably know the song. If we go to a karaoke bar, I'm going to listen to Crawling ahead of time, so I kind of already have an idea.
on the car ride. Next question. What fast food restaurant do you think I'm most likely to drive through? And what's my order? This would be really easy for your side. I'm curious to know what you're going to say for me.
Fast food restaurant that you are going to drive through.
Yeah, it's late at night. I got off work, or I just got, off a plane or something. I'm in my car. I'm heading back to my home or going to my hotel or something. I'm like, I need some food. Got to make it quick. I don't want to think too much about it. Where am I going? What am I getting?
Well, it doesn't sound like you want food that's good.
Probably that's not my first thought. I'm not thinking of something, real. I just want something to shove into my face. Like, this is what it's good, but it's good to only me, right? Like, it's comfort food. Mm-hmm. It's something that I can just relax with before bed, before a shower or whatever.
It doesn't help that your orders change.
That's what I was saying. Like, that's easy. That's McDonald's, right? That's a quarter pounder, plain and dry. Maybe a medium, maybe a large fries if you're feeling kind of crazy, but probably
medium fries at Mickey D's. You never finish a large.
Right. That's why I was saying crazy. Yeah. No. So yeah, probably a medium fries, Dr. Pepper, no ice. That's done. That's easy. If you're coming into Texas, you might look for a Whataburger. Number 1, plain and dry.
Number 2.
Oh, I'd suck.
It's a double meat Whataburger with cheese.
Oh, last time we went, you got a triple for some goddamn reason.
No, they made a mistake. That was not me. And if they ask how much cheese I want 1 slice, not 2.
Yeah. Is the number 1 just a single patty?
Yeah, and that's their 1 is a Whataburger, then a 2 is a double meat, then 3 is a triple.
Gotcha.
Then I think 4 goes to like chicken strips because they're like, you don't want 4 patties. That's I would say the things that are coming to the top of my brain would be In-N-Out, because their food is as passable cafeteria as it gets.
Some people would put you on a cross for that statement.
Okay, people would also put me on a cross for saying that Whataburger is not consistently and always good.
I might be one of those people.
Mickey D's fries can be bad.
I might also be one of those people.
Let's see.
No, I'll give you that one. Mickey D's fries. Sometimes they have those soggy ones. They've been like sitting under the heat lamp for too long or something.
I don't know what does it. I just know that sometimes they're not good.
Yeah.
P. Terry's has terrible fries overall, in my opinion.
I still don't have a strong enough opinion of P. Terry's. I haven't been enough times.
What other fast food? Like, we just hit all the main brands. I didn't use any locals.
I can tell you what I think my answer for me would be.
Well, it's not going to be Chick-fil-A because that's a very unique and
No.
specific craving.
No.
Also, you said it's nighttime, so they're likely closed.
Yeah, that's the only problem with what I think my answer would be. But I'll give you another second to think what I'm thinking. But to give you a hint under what I just said, yeah, it would probably be closed in most scenarios. If I'm coming in super late or something, it's not a desperately. They probably close around like 10 or something like that.
When most fast food restaurants
Yeah,
that are not Mickey D's, Whataburger, and In-N-Out close.
and that other one that for some reason people like, I believe it includes a bell or some sort.
Bell. Oh, the ones that pretend to be food.
Yeah.
They're open much later. I don't. They're not 24 hours. Are they just open till the bars?
Yeah,
Are they
it's just like 4 a.m. or something like that.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
There's also the Munchies meals at Jack in the Box. I don't remember the last time.
Jack in the Box. Funny enough, with my example about like the whole planes and stuff, on the way to the Austin airport, you pass by a Jack in the Box, and that used to be like the exciting thing for me on the way to go into a flight. Would be like, oh, we get to stop at Jack in the Box, because there wasn't a Jack in the Box like anywhere else.
That was the exciting part of a flight.
Listen, I was an easily pleased kid.
Them curly fries.
Like, for the first few years of me living in Texas and flying back to California every year, like that, it would be like, yeah, I get to go see my friends in California. But before that, Jack in the Box.
I got no other fast food restaurants.
So my thought, the thing that's coming ahead for me, Panda Express. That's just, I can just go there.
They have a drive-thru?
They do have a drive-thru, yeah. Some don't, some do. They're very often, I get what you're thinking, they're very often in like malls and strip malls and stuff like that. But there's more than a few that, have a drive-thru.
Okay.
And I just go there, grab, really, if I'm just feeling really basic, I just want to shove some stuff in my mouth, grab white rice and double order orange chicken. I'm out of there. I'm done. Grab some soy sauce, grab a drink, whatever it is. And I'm good. I'm done. I'll probably eat like half of it that night, shove the rest in either my fridge or the hotel's mini fridge, then warm it up in the microwave the next day.
So the only experience I have with ordering from a Panda Express was when I was there. It was a mall scenario, which is why I was confused by the drive-thru. Unless you're just gonna plow through a couple of stores, once you're tired, it's a flight, maybe. Just give me my orange chicken. Anyways, the point being, they had 2 separate countertops, and one countertop was divided into 8 sections or so with different meats or foods or noodles or whatever else they serve. And then the entire other counter was orange chicken.
Yeah, no, they have like half trays, which are like their specialty items and the things that no one ever orders, string bean chicken or whatever like that.
The thing that if someone orders, they're like, "Oh yeah, we
finally get that out." And then they have their full trays of like their Beijing beef, the more popular stuff, the things that people grab. And then they have 2 full trays of orange chicken.
Seeing that I assumed no one ordered anything that wasn't orange chicken. It was one of those people go there for orange chicken, and then as a manager, you're required to tell your sales staff like, "Hey, try and upsell this other thing that's not orange chicken. Please get rid of it because we cooked it today."
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think every single time I've been like, I'm going to be a bit bold today. I'm going to go to Panda Express and I'm not going to get orange chicken. I've left disappointed. You have to get orange chicken when you go to Panda Express. My standard order, like despite what I said with the white rice and the double, that's like the simple, I don't want to think about stuff order. Standard order, you do a half and half. They give you a bit of chow mein and a bit of fried rice. And then you get some orange chicken and some Beijing beef. It gives you a nice 4 square variety of bites to take. It's something else. It'll take you to a whole new place, and that whole new place will be your toilet.
On that note of half and half ordering, I found that that's actually the best way to order from Chipotle
for us American speaking viewers.
Freebirds.
Frabottas.
Frabottas? Is that?
I guess. I don't know.
I want to go to Frabottas. No one's ever gonna understand me. I always do have to have proteins when I go there. I always typically, because at least at Freebirds, I don't remember if they do it Chipotle, but at Freebirds they give you seasoned chicken and then I guess non-seasoned white meat chicken.
That just sounds like some chewy substance that they put in your burrito.
Well, the very first time I went, I asked for chicken and they said, "Which one do you want?" And I said, I don't know. I didn't know the difference. So I said, "I'll do both." And they just did half and half. And that's how I've ordered my burritos ever since.
Yep. All right. Next question.
Oh, we have questions still?
Sometime.
We're still on level 1.
Yeah.
Do you think I have ever checked an ex's phone for evidence?
No, I don't think so. I can't think of a moment you telling me that you did so, and then just you as a person. No, I don't think so. You would find it out somewhere else. They either you heard it from the grapevine, friend of a friend, something like that, especially during like the school days, absolutely, or just talking to them, you sussed them out. The facial expressions, body movement, something like that. If you weren't feeling the trust that you needed to feel, you would have found it out without digging to that low.
So I think the issue that I have just in reading this question is, do you think I've ever checked an ex's phone for evidence? If they're an ex, I already have evidence. I have already proven or gotten enough suspicion that they have hit the X point.
But did you find the information for them to become an ex is kind of what I'm thinking.
Like I didn't have evidence in the first place, decided it was suspicious enough that the relationship wasn't going to work, then later went back to them.
Sure, yeah.
That's a real touchy. So you're telling me after breaking up with someone, I somehow convinced them to hang out with me again?
No, you didn't break up with them. So
Well, they're not an ex then.
Right, but they became an ex because you got so like you're reading it as like you went through your ex's phone, like the phone is already labeled as ex's. I'm thinking of it, the phone is labeled posthumously as the ex's phone. So it was your current girlfriend. You got the information off the phone, and that information may or may not lead, I guess with the context of this question, did lead to them becoming an ex.
So in this instance, ex refers to everyone I have previously dated.
Yeah.
Got it. So that makes a lot more sense than breaking up with them and then be like, "Give me your phone so I have evidence as to why I just broke up with you."
Yeah, that is a bit weird. But this one is something that I guess you could legitimately answer. Have you ever gone through a phone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah. I have gone through phones, or to be clear, I have never gone through a phone and not had my suspicions confirmed.
Okay.
I've only ever gone through a phone with such a 99% proof ratio that the evidence was not necessarily needed, but just it helped confirm what was only suspicion up to that point. But I also don't go through phones without talking to the person first.
Oh, interesting. So it's not a behind the back thing. It's
no, I don't like steal someone's phone and go through it. I ask ahead of time. I ask them about my suspicions. I will communicate how I feel, why I feel that way, if they can answer. But if they give me answers that I know them well enough to define as vague, not true, or I can just discredit their answer from the get-go, then it will lead to me saying, "Okay, can you prove it?"
Gotcha.
And if they can't, then that's enough.
So you don't have to give names or anything, but do you have instances where you've confronted someone and they've just willingly handed the phone over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I had a relationship that lasted for quite a long time, just right outside of high school. And they were so confident in their ability to hide that information from me. They thought that if they handed me their phone, I wouldn't know where to look, because of course they had deleted any text messages or obvious stuff.
Yeah, right.
So they thought they had hidden it, and I guess they were not intelligent enough to realize you can look up app history on a phone, and it's real weird that someone goes to their files tax folder 7 hours in a day just for storages and stuff like that. But yeah, moral point of the story is I see nothing wrong with trying to gather evidence. I do see something wrong with trying to gather evidence behind someone's back.
So that was my initial point. So in a way, I got it wrong, as much as you can get this game wrong, but I also kind of got it right, because my point was that you would not go behind someone's back. That sort of typical, angry girlfriend or angry boyfriend yanking the phone while they're in the bathroom or something like that during movie night and looking through, or looking over their shoulder to make sure they know what their code is or whatever. You never did any of that.
No, I've only ever talked to someone first and then told them my suspicions, communicated it through, and still not felt confident either in myself or because the answers seem faulty. But again, every time it's been confronted, I've been correct. So I have no reason to believe that I would be some jealous, angry individual in this circumstance. It's certified. I can put 1 and 1 together.
Is this you trying to brag, or is this you saying that every single time you've reached that point, you have gone through days, weeks, months of thinking and observing to the point where you're like, I need some solid evidence here? Or is this you just being like, I know a person on this on any point, you just know them?
Generally speaking, I think if you're in a relationship, you should know your partner well enough to know if they're lying to you.
Okay.
It's not so much bragging as it was defending the point, because there are going to be people who, if they heard this, they would instantly crucify me to say, how dare you not trust your partner and whatnot.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And my point to the situation is that it's not a lack of me trying to go through the proper channels to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I have always given my partners the ability to tell me the truth from the get-go. And I always start with the same thing. If you tell me the truth, it will not be as harsh as if I find out on my own. And yet people still lie to me to my face about it. So I no longer feel that I am not just in my actions.
For those listening, this would have been a real interesting one if the question was reversed, because I haven't had a relationship.
So you think I've ever gone through an ex's phone? Does the ex's phone exist?
We might have had to skip that one, or I would have had a grand fabricated story. One of the two.
I do have extras in case we get any of those.
All right, on to my last perception card.
All right, good. So I can put the rest of the perception.
Oh, this is kind of interesting with your what was that other question? Yeah, with your finish the sentence answer, with the whole people think that I look like I have my shit together. Do you think I intimidate others? Why or why not?
In fairness, you also talk like you have your shit together.
Yeah.
Do you intimidate others?
Do I intimidate others?
No.
Really?
I don't think anything about you is intimidating. I really want to know if the cat can be picked up. There's a cat meowing. He's real angry that he's not allowed in the studio.
Cat made me forget my question.
Why are you not intimidating? Is that what you were getting
No, I don't think so. Just go ahead and ramble on. If it comes back to me, I'll interrupt you.
So the biggest things that I think of when I think of intimidation are physically scary. A physical intimidation.
That was the point. How much do you think that your answer here is based off our probably decade and a half long friendship versus just my you actually making an objective point to my look and my demeanor and stuff?
I can't defend that there is going to be biased answers on any of these questions because of our friendship.
Yeah.
But I would say this is a pretty objective based thing, because if I introduced you to other people in my life, it's very rare that I would ever get feedback that would lead me to believe any kind of intimidation was at play, as opposed to someone like Danny. When I introduced him to people, they would walk away being like, he is tall, he is big, he's kind of scary. He doesn't really respond to people. He just kind of stared them down. You're pretty good socially, despite not being
a social person. You know, fake it till you make it. That's been my motto. Social.
The other ways that I could see someone being intimidating are if you were just incredibly attractive. I think that's a pretty intimidating quality.
You hit me there.
Well, okay. We're gonna skip through that. But quite often, I think that's how females get intimidated by each other. I feel like I have had the conversation multiple times with women where they would say that they felt intimidated because she's just so attractive. They felt like they didn't have any room for themselves.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You know, sans the joke, I do get it. You know, whether anyone does or does not consider me attractive, I don't think I'm ever going to stop a room when I walk in, you know. At most I might pull a glance or two, but I don't know.
You might stop a room if your voice entered first.
You know it, baby.
And then the last way I could see people being intimidated is dominant talkers, people who are socially just charismatic and can suppress introverts. Someone who's extroverted to the point that when they go to a party, everyone really wants to talk to them. I mean, I, as a decently charismatic and enjoyable, gregarious socialite, have been in situations plenty of times where someone else is just so magnetic that I don't want to talk over them. And I would see that as a form of intimidation.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.